Before I get started, I once again have a few things to say. Firstly, very sorry for the wait for this episode. I was sick last week and really under the pump this week, so thank you for your patience. Also, thank you all for your support thus far. This channel now has more subscribers than the parent channel, and the most feedback I'm getting is really positive, so thank you. Next, scripts and notes for these analysis videos, including this one, are now free to view on my Patreon. Bloopers and outtakes are also available to anyone who pledges $1 a month. Lastly, a big thank you to Dark Flame Master for requesting this analysis on Empty Can, which is based on the manga's 5th chapter and is viewable in episode 3 from 3 minutes in. The story begins with Nishikata buying a drink from the vending machine. While he walks along drinking it, he thinks about how much he's been teased today. Keep in mind that muscle training hasn't happened yet, so he's more upset about the teasing itself rather than the punishment. Takagi, who is riding a bike home, catches up to Nishikata and asks him if he is walking home alone today. Upon learning that he is, she suggests that they walk home together. Nishikata looks up and down the road to look for people. Whether this is looking for classmates that may spot them together, or looking for a friend that he can claim to be walking home with, I'm unsure. All I know is that this part does not happen in the manga. If there is one thing that this story presents at this point, it is that early show Nishikata does not want to walk home with Takagi, which sets up a nice contrast for later stories in the show. Especially Invitation, where if he wants to walk home with her, he will actually have to invite her as opposed to waiting for her to invite him. He tells Takagi that since she is riding a bike, trying to walk with him would be a bother, but Takagi says it's fine and she will just push it. As they walk together, Nishikata looks visibly uncomfortable. Unsure of what to say, he takes a sip from the drink. Takagi uses this as a chance to start a conversation, asking Nishikata if the drink was the one that was just released. After confirming this, Nishikata is asked if it is any good. He says it is while he thinks about whether or not this could be a trap, but he quickly figures out that this is a good opportunity for him to lay his own. He asks her if she would like some, to which Takagi accepts. But just as she goes to take a sip, Nishikata brings up that for her to drink from that can would mean she was indirectly kissing him. The indirect kiss has a massive entry on TV tropes, but from a real-world perspective, all I can really see is that it's a way for younger Japanese kids to give each other a hard time. It could be more universal than that, but in Australia, I never really heard of an indirect kiss. We were just always told by parents and teachers not to share drinks because we could get sick. It could have something to do with Japan's traditionally reserved nature. Some school kids have never even seen their parents kiss, so it stands to reason that they may be more sensitive to that kind of stuff. Although none of this matters for Takagi. As Nishikata watches her look at the can, anticipating her embarrassment, Takagi goes all in and drinks from the can, which shocks Nishikata. Takagi thanks him for the sip and returns the can, after which Nishikata just stares at it, clearly feeling the embarrassment that he was hoping to see from Takagi. She asks him if he's going to drink it, to which he says of course he will, but just as he goes to take a sip, Takagi reminds him that it is an indirect kiss. Nishikata freaks out and drops the can. Feeling upset that he has been teased yet again and lost the last part of the drink he paid for, he gets a little bit frustrated. He looks around for a rubbish bin and sees one across the street. He throws the empty can and makes it into the bin. All I have to say about this moment is that the manga did it much better. While in the show he quickly goes from frustrated as he picks up the can, to neutral while he finds a rubbish bin, to frustrated again as he throws it. In the manga he knows exactly where the bin is right away, so he is frustrated from the moment he picks it up to the moment that he gets it into the bin. Both Nishikata and Takagi are surprised by his feat of accuracy. Nishikata picks up another can and throws it towards the bin, and again gets it in from across the street. Takagi goes to try it herself while Nishikata wonders how he couldn't have known about this secret talent. Takagi throws an empty can only for it to barely clear the road. Nishikata, clearly still excited about his consecutive goals, laughs at Takagi for missing by so much. Takagi appears to get frustrated and challenges Nishikata to a match. Nishikata states that he accepts the challenge, although he will not lose. I don't know about you guys, but the first time I watched this, I slapped my forehead with my hand and said, "Damn it mate, you just fell for the oldest trick in the book." As Takagi goes to retrieve her can, Nishikata states in his head that he has Takagi exactly where he wants her, flustered to the point where she is making bets she can't win. In an attempt to rub salt into the wound, Nishikata says that if Takagi wins, he will do whatever she says, setting the precedent for Shelter from the Rain, Shopping, Marathon, Ribs, and last week's analysis, Picture. Takagi says that she hears that loud and clear and he had better not try to weasel out of it. In the manga she goes as far as to repeat the bet back to Nishikata. He says that he won't try to weasel out of it, but that he won't lose anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Takagi gives him a devilish smile as she gets ready to throw the can. She throws it, and swish! Nishikata looks absolutely dumbfounded while Takagi laughs at him. In the manga, she clearly spells out how she had just tricked him, however in the anime, the audience will have to figure that out for themselves. The pressure is on for Nishikata when Takagi tells him that missing now would mean losing. Nishikata grabs a can and pumps himself up for another throw, telling himself that if he just stands in the same spot and throws at the same angle, he shouldn't have an issue. However, just as he starts to throw the can, Takagi tells him that, "If you win, I'll give you my first kiss." And for those of you who like that line, I'm sorry to ruin it with my deep Aussie man voice. "Hey Nishi boy, if you win, I'll give you my first kiss, eh?" As you can imagine, this causes Nishikata to botch his throw even worse than Takagi's fake throw. He drops to his knees in disappointment, just crushed they lost the challenge. He laments that it wasn't fair, but when pressed by Takagi as to why it wasn't fair, he can't bring himself to repeat what she said. Takagi wonders what she should make him do. Nishikata wonders about what terrible thing he could be in for when Takagi says that she won't make him do anything. Nishikata says that if he doesn't fulfill his part of the bet, then he will feel like he can never win. Takagi states that he never will win, so what's the issue? Being part of episode 3, there isn't really much in the way of callbacks. However, this is an important episode for setting up future events in the story. I've already pointed out the whole do whatever I say consequence was originated in this short, but it's also a prime example of Nishikata trying to embarrass or trick Takagi only to have it backfire, similar to shopping. It also showcases Takagi's maturity given that she isn't fazed by an indirect kiss, and the lengths that Takagi is willing to go to in order to put certain thoughts into Nishikata's head. All in all, a pretty important piece to this Takagi-san puzzle. Thank you all so much for watching. I've still got 2-choice question, critical hit and seating arrangement to go, unless of course you have any requests for analysis, in which case let me know in the comments. If you want to see more Takagi-san content, please click here. If you want to see the films I write and direct, click on the Big Joe Productions logo. Make sure you subscribe to catch more Takagi-san content, and I will see you next time.